the WWE Network on Peacock. Been a lot of problems from fans. Have been reporting a lot of problems on the network. Uh, Fans no longer have access to the network. It was supposed to be until April 4th. You were supposed to have access. Now there's no access at all to the old network. It's all on Peacock, but it's not. They still haven't transferred over all of the stuff on Peacock, so there's like a limited amount of stuff in the library. Basically, you can only watch former or past WrestleManias and some like individual wrestlers playlists and not much else. But this has caused a lot of backlash from fans, and it's not just that. Peacock has came out and said that it's going to take until about SummerSlam until all of this is kind of figured out and they have the network fully moved over and the search engine is like working and all that kind of stuff. So we got months of this in like left to go. And on top of that, Trevor, they're removing stuff from the network. I covered this in a video I did just a few days ago, and but we have some stuff that I want to talk to you about specifically. So let's take a look at this news report from Hollywood Reporter. So, according to sources familiar with the situation, the NBC Universal owned streaming service is reviewing all 17,000 hours of its WWE content to ensure it aligns with Peacock's standards and practices. WWE is also being made aware of any edits. One of the alterations has been to the 1990s WrestleMania 6, which featured a match between Roddy Piper and Bad News Brown that included Piper, a white wrestler, painting half his face black while facing off against Brown, a black wrestler. They also removed a very controversial moment of Vince McMahon very casually using the N-word in front of John Cena and Booker T at Survivor Series 2005, which I still don't get why he did that. But like we're seeing this. They're editing the network, right, to live up to their standards and practices. And one of the things I brought up in my video was, I get why, because a lot of stuff in wrestling, you look back and it's cringe. But at the same time, if they really edit out everything that's like offensive and that doesn't meet up to their standards and practices, there's not going to be a lot left out of that 17,000 hours of footage.
No, it's not. I mean, and then you think about the footage that they have from ECW. How much are they going to be able to save?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, ECW is probably one of the most offensive promotions there was. I mean, all the blood matches, all the, you had, what's his name? Black guy stabbing homeboy with a blade. New Jack stabbing him with a blade. Like, I mean, like there's a lot of, a buddy of mine, an actual wrestling buddy of mine, posted about it recently. He was like, rest in peace to my wrestling history, to my wrestling culture. Like, it's going to be a lot that he won't be able to go back and watch, being a fan of ECW, being a fan of some of those controversial matches. And a lot of people, period. I mean, like half of Rock's promos were offensive. You're going to cut off half of some of the greatest promos on TV off because they're offensive. Not only Rock, we're talking about when D-Generation X came up and did their public service announcement. Like, I mean, and half of what DX used to do when they talked about their dicks constantly. I mean, it's just a lot of things that are going to be cut off. And the like traditional like diehard wrestling fan is not going to want to watch Peacock. There are going to be a lot of people that don't sign up to Peacock because of this.
Yeah, I think that's a very interesting point you just made. Like the good thing about the network, right, was that they didn't really mess with it. The only thing originally when the network came on that was removed was the moment when Owen Hart fell in 1999 over the edge, and we understand exactly why. Because you don't want to show someone's death on the network like that. You want to glorify that. That's fine, right? They even kept in the Benoit matches. They kept in like a lot of the raunchy stuff that honestly you didn't really think they would. And look, and it so for me, when I did the video, right, it brought up an interesting conversation for me. For me, the conversation was, okay, well, like if The Office, like they have a show on NBC Peacock called The Office, a little known show, right? The Office has some raunchy moments as well, or like Breaking Bad or like other shows. Other TV shows have like terrible, deplorable characters, have deplorable moments, right, in their TV show history. Are we gonna take those out of their shows as well? Or Oz? Are you gonna go like cut out all those times like there were terrible things you saw on like TV shows like Oz? And like the question is WWE a TV show like that? Because that's how they've always WWE has always presented themselves. They make movies, pal, right?
Right.
And like that's like the interesting conversation for me because if it's fictional, right, which we know WWE is, it's fictional, then these moments, I think they don't then they kind of fit into the realm of a TV show. But the way Peacock's treating it is more so as is blurring the lines with reality, which wrestling does do. So it's just interesting to me, I just don't I don't know. I honestly don't know. There's because wrestling does blur the lines between reality and fiction. So like to you, is wrestling like a TV show or is it like something more?
And that's the thing, and that's an interesting conversation to have because they promote themselves as wrestling entertainment, and entertainment does come off as a television show, movie, whatever have you. So the thing is, you gotta, and like you said, the lines are blurred there, but you gotta figure out which one it is because so wrestling was wrestling what it was at its peak because of the controversial things they could do on TV. You saw half-naked women wrestling in pudding, gravy, just ripping each other's clothes off. Shit, you saw Sable come out with pasties on one night. Like it was the reason it was what it was because of that controversial content. Now you're taking off the very violent chair shots. You're taking off the pasty matches. You're taking off all of the stuff that helped make wrestling history. Now, did it need to be there in the first place? Probably not. But
right.
It was there. It was there, and that's part of our history. I mean, you're gonna cut promos. You're gonna cut things that that if you or me had kids or had little brothers or whatever have you, then we want to, hey, when I was your age, this is what was on TV. Like you won't be able to do that.
Yeah, and yeah, you I think you said it right there. And for me, again, I just come back to this idea of like if they're gonna do that with WWE, then I think like they probably should be consistent with it and do it with The Office or whatever, or not. Right. And that's the thing. Like I just and here's the thing though, it was gonna happen with the second WWE was shopping the network. Something like this was gonna happen because WWE could only get away with like showing that stuff, I think, when it was their own platform.
Right.
The second you get like Peacock or Fox or anyone else involved, you muddy the waters and it becomes corporatized. And we saw what happened with WCW. Standards and practices kind of ruined that company. And I'm not saying, and like I said, I'm not saying whether or not this is like good or bad because there's obviously deplorable moments. Like if you want me to be real, Roddy Piper in blackface. Not a good look.
No, not at all.
Vince McMahon casually using the N-word. Yeah, definitely shouldn't have happened to begin with. But when you get to the other stuff, right? Like I think it's like a question of like, is WWE that much different than SNL, which is like a variety show where comedians kind of blurry the lines of reality as well. So so it's again, it's weird. It's weird. I get it. But at the same time, if you're going to go back to all 17,000 hours and cut out every offensive moment, you're going to lose a lot of fans. And two, you're not going to have much left.
Yeah, there's not going to be much left. Like, I mean, I don't know. It's just one of those things where, like you said, like, and I said it earlier too, does it need to be cut out? Probably. But if you cut out all the offensive things, it's just, you just have a network at this point. And like I wondered why they didn't shop it with places like HBO Max or something like that. You know what I mean? With their content won't be cut like this. But I mean, it is what it is. I'm not totally happy with it myself, being a network holder. But yeah, we'll see.
I mean, part of it I think was like the reason they didn't shop it elsewhere was because Peacock offered them $1 billion for 5 years. Like that's a
But that's probably what the
yeah,
main.
that's a lot of money.
I
And you know
mean, yeah.
you know how Vince is like, God damn it, I want more.
I need his money.
I need money. But you know that's how they work, and like, but it's also like going away from like just the content too. Like the actual setup of the network on Peacock is terrible. You can't find anything. Like I can't. Like if I want to go back, like I'm like in a binge right now where I'm watching every single episode or every single pay-per-view of WCW, right? Right now I'm like in the 1999 era, and I can't watch anything from that time in my free time anymore. So I have to wait now until like September apparently when they fix it to continue watching them. By that time, am I going to be interested? Because I've already been on this binge. Like that's the thing. Like again, that's the thing. They probably should have thought about it before if they actually cared about the fans to have this already set up by WrestleMania. But the thing is, they didn't.
They did. No,
they saw the dollars and they took
it's all a money thing, honestly. I mean, and it just shows how much Vince actually gives a fuck about the fans anyway. Sorry, because I was actually doing the In Your House binge. I was watching a lot of the In Your Houses, and I can't do that now because you can't find it. So,
but God damn it, you can find the best of Alexa Bliss and Randy Orton's greatest matches that aren't Backlash 2004. Because you can't find that. I did not see that in his greatest hits thing. So, oh man, and that was a great match. Like I hope they don't actually end up cutting like matches like hardcore matches because then
they might though.
Like here's the thing: if you cut moments or whatever, like okay, like you know I'm okay, like. But if you're gonna just cut like violent matches just because they show blood or whatever, like that's when it's just like, all right, I might be done with your product. Thanks for watching this video from Real Take Sports Talk. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Also remember to check out our live show every single Thursday at 8 p.m. right here on the YouTube channel. And remember, keep it real.